It's not looking good for Donald Trump. His cognitive and physical health are collapsing so fast that even his ally, Dr. Phill, who was called on stage during this bizarre speech Donald Trump gave at the Villages at a high school yesterday in front of a crowd of senior citizens, even Dr. Phill was like, okay, Donald, I've administered cognitive exams that you're bragging about, and you know the type of people who take those cognitive exams, Donald? Even Dr. Phill was giving all of the hints that there are major red flags about Donald Trump's cognitive and physical health. Watch what Dr. Phill said. Here, play this clip.
Children, so I'm now fifth in line. By the way, Mr. President, I've given that cognitive test that he took. I used to administer those, where you give them 9,000 divided by 2, 6, 7. I recall one guy did that about the president's age. Took about 6 minutes to go through it. I said, so what's your answer? He said, a small wire-haired terrier. So great that he got that done. No kidding. Listen, I really do want to take a chance to talk about this a little bit, because what the president is doing here is really something you got to think about differently.
Because throughout this speech, Donald Trump was either attacking the people who set up the sound system at this high school, at this event before senior citizens, or he kept on talking about the cognitive exam, or he was making like weird noises at this event and then at other events throughout the day in Florida. I mean, he was doing the thing where he makes the weird noise where he goes, it's very strange. Like, look, here, play this clip.
Come on, darling. The mother's screaming like crazy. Darling, I love you, darling. Mom, I can't do it.
Then he was talking about the cognitive exams, and he says, you take 99, you multiply by 9, you divide by 3, you add 4,293, you divide by 2, you subtract by 93, you divide by 9. What are you even talking? What in the world is going on? This individual is cognitively cooked. See you later, folks. There's nothing going on in there other than cognitive mush. Here, play this clip.
And these are tough questions. These are tough questions, They say, take a number, any number. Okay, I'll take 99. Multiply times 9, okay? Divide it by 3, good. Add 4,293, that's good. Divide by 2. Subtract 93. Divide by 9. What is your answer? Now, they go a little slower than that, but not much. I don't want to waste a lot of time. But there aren't a lot of people that get it right. I got it right. It was actually longer and more complex than that. But no, it's a tough test, so I took it.
And then he continues to go on. I took this cognitive exam. I took 3 of them. I took 3 exams. Here, play this clip.
I took 3 of them. Aced all of them, by the way. I'm the only president. I'm the only president to take a cognitive test, because I don't think Obama could pass it. I don't. Didn't he get into Harvard with a C average? I don't know. What's that? I don't think he could pass it. Well, Biden isn't. Give me a break. The first question is very easy. It's a lion, a giraffe, a bear, and a shark. They say, which one is the bear? And everybody says, 30 questions. Everyone says, very standard. It's a very standard test, but very tough around those last 10 questions, not too many people, even in this very room, unlike Newsom, I'll say, this room of geniuses. He said, I'm in a room of dumb people. That was not good. That was not good. You know what happened to him after that? It wasn't but I'm in a room of brilliant people, but a lot of you wouldn't have been able to answer those 10 questions. And when I got the score in the test, the doctor said, wow, I've never seen, you have 5 doctors lined up. They're all over the place. I said, should I take it? I've had different phases. They've said, he's a mad genius. I didn't mind that too much. Then they said, he's a horrible human being. I don't like that much. Then they said, he's really not a smart person at all. I really hated that. So I took a cognitive test.
I'll show you in a little bit. As the head of Meidas Health explains, that's Dr. Gupta. these are dementia exams. These are exams that test serious cognitive decline. But look, it's not just Midas Health. It's not just, even though we keep on calling it out here. I mean, look, I think this is becoming a major campaign theme and a major part of the national discussion, and rightfully so. For example, here's what Governor Pritzker of Illinois said. Here, play this clip.
Like a lot of bullies, if you push back on a bully, oftentimes they actually do take a step back. So that I can't explain because I don't understand. I think the man has dementia. I don't really understand how it works up there for him, but I can tell you that he doesn't seem to like me. He mentions me very often, and sometimes completely out of the blue. He's not talking about Illinois. He's not talking about Chicago. He just, somehow I pop up in his head and he wants to take after me.
Do you think he had dementia in the first term, or is that recent to this term?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Do you notice it more pronounced now?
Oh my goodness, this time it's much more pronounced. And I mean, from day one, in fact, during the campaign, I think I felt that. And again, I think it's kind of a sad state of affairs, because someone who's suffering from dementia, I mean, they genuinely need help. And there's no one around him who wants to help him. All those people are just sycophants.
And here's what Donald Trump's own former attorney, White House attorney Ty Cobb, said about Donald Trump. Here, play this clip.
No, I think there's been a significant decline. He's always been driven by narcissism, but I think the dementia and the cognitive decline are, palpable, as do many experts, including many physicians.
I mean, you think about the events and the speeches that he was giving yesterday. He gave 2 speeches in Florida, and then in one of them at the Palm Beach Forum Club, he creates this fictitious narrative about the Civil War and how General Lee, said, never fight uphill, me boys, never fight uphill. That's not what he said. That's not even an expression. Never fight uphill, me boys. I don't even know, what are you even talking about? Here, play this clip.
They heard they were going up a hill, Harvey, just going up a hill. Robert E. Lee heard that. Stonewall Jackson was killed as great general, and so he didn't have him. He had another general, and they were going up, and he sent 5 messengers on 5 horses, hoping that one would get through because they were all being shot. It was a bloodbath, and it was never fight uphill, me boys, never fight uphill. He was fought uphill, and they just got wiped out. But that whole, to me, the Robert E. Lee era with Ulysses S. Grant, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, to me, that is such an amazing, you can learn so much from it, but it was such an amazing time.
Robert E. Lee never said that. What are you talking about? And Donald Trump's like, he kept on saying how great Robert E. Lee was, and he was incredible, and that's why the war lasted 4 years, because he was such a good general. No, it's not a good thing, man. He's a Confederate. What are you talking about? Then Donald Trump, the way Trump describes the Strait of Hormuz is like very sexual. He's like, look at the curves. The curves. Are you drawing the Epstein birthday card that you got him for his 50th birthday? We call this, and this is what's called in medical terms and in legal terms, disinhibition. Disinhibition, where everything is kind of firing off in all these different directions. And here's what he says. Here, play this clip.
Of what's happening in the world. And when you look at the Hormuz Strait and you see all of those ships, all of those people and ships that they want to get out or they want to get in, they're all over the place. They're like little ants, right? They look like a little anthill, and hundreds and hundreds of ships. And we have a navy that is unbelievable. We put up, it's a blockade. It's a blockade. And you saw the other day where a massive tanker, this was bigger than 2 million barrels, a massive tanker was trying to run it, and the young captain of the ship from Annapolis, these guys are like central casting. You could put him in. I'd say something about Tom Cruise. I was going to say better looking than Tom Cruise and taller, but I'm not going to do that because he's a friend of mine. I can't do that.
Like when he's talking about Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, and how beautiful she is and how attracted he is to Mexico's president. Then he does voices of Mexico's president where he's like, and she's like, hello, Donald. How are you, Donald? You good? You good, Donald? And I'm like, what? I'm watching this and I'm like, folks, we're watching somebody who needs to be placed in a psychiatric ward. objectively, this person needs to be in a psychiatric ward, in my opinion. Here, play this clip.
Beneath that water, and now it's the Gulf of America. And the president of Mexico called me. He's not too fond of me anymore, but when she heard about it, it was put in some paper. Somebody leaked it someplace always. You always have leaks. When you're in my world, leaks are a part of life. And it was leaked that I was going to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And she's a beautiful woman, a very nice, I never like to talk about beauty because it's usually the end of a political career. If you say somebody's a beautiful woman, they say, what a terrible, terrible thing. Everybody hates it except the woman that you're talking about. They love it. So I won't say she's a beautiful woman, but she's a fine woman. And she is. And she's got this incredible, beautiful voice, elegant voice. She was a ballet dancer. She's got this beautiful voice. And she goes, President, no, President, tell me, you're only kidding. You're not going to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, I am. I'm sorry. No, please. Anyway, so they don't love me too much in Mexico right now, That's why guys like me are in a lot of danger, consequential people get in a lot of danger. You know what I'm talking about?
And then because he keeps on going on and on and on about this, one of the people at this event goes up to him and says, all right, the forum that he's speaking at, the Forum Club, it's supposed to be this like nonpartisan club. Yeah, right. And so the person who was asking him the question goes, okay, Donald, why are you living in Palm Beach? The guy tries to make it less political. And Donald Trump's like, Elton John once told me that when you give a great performance, you just end the show. Elton John? Why are you bringing up Elton John? What are you even talking about? And by the way, the fact that people in the crowd are laughing at this, I go back to what Governor Pritzker said. Like, you're laughing at someone who's psychologically ill. Like, this isn't fun. He's not trying to be humorous. This guy's psychologically ill. And I'm not trying to use that as an excuse because he's a malignant narcissist. He's an evil, vile piece of trash. Like, he's a real scumbag human. So I'm not trying to be like, oh, well, he's ill, so we should treat him like he's a sick person. But he is also psychologically very ill and deranged, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And in my opinion, it's what happened with his father, Fred, right around the same age. That's just my opinion that this is Fred all over again. But anyway, here's what Donald Trump said to that guy. Here, play this clip.
Why do you choose our community? Why Florida? Why Palm Beach County?
Well, before I do that, so Elton John told me, when you hit it big, you leave. We hit it big. Everybody's standing over. Now Harvey says, can we ask you a couple of questions? He said, when you hit that last song big, don't go out for an encore. Or if you go out for an encore, make sure you leave when it's hot. And here we are. We had a standing ovation. Everyone going. They loved it. And Harvey has to ask me a stupid question like that.
And then Donald Trump was claiming to the audience of senior citizens. Trump was saying that he's not a senior citizen. Play this clip.
And here in the Sunshine State, we've issued 2.5 million Florida seniors over $13 billion. Now think of that. Now, I don't happen to be a senior. I'm much younger than you. I'm a much younger man than you. Look at you old guys. Wouldn't you like to be my age? It's young, vital, vibrant. No, I'm much, much younger than the people in this room, but I feel I can relate to you anyway. See, now the fake news will go tonight and they'll say, he's claiming to be younger than the people. You understand?
And then Trump keeps saying that I seethe a lot. I seethe. Do you know that I seethe? He lies and he claims that Biden tried to take credit for reducing insulin prices to $25, which Biden did do. Trump's like, that's what I did. And I seethe. It makes me seethe. What are you talking about? Play this clip.
Lo and behold, the election was rigged. And I saw Biden a year later standing up there saying, I did a great job on insulin. He doesn't even know what the hell, he had no idea. And I was standing there seething. I was watching television. You know what it is to seethe? I seethe a lot. But this is one of the times I was seething. Oz knows that. I was so angry. I said, I did it and I didn't get credit for it. We did a lot of things we didn't get credit for, but.
And then finally, he makes up fake conversations with Iran. So like earlier in the day yesterday when he was in the White House lawn, he was saying, you know, the Iranians, they keep on calling me. They want to make a deal. I don't want to make a deal. They want to make a deal, but I don't. They want to make a deal, but you don't. Well, again, why are you making this up? Be the president of the United States. Act like a grown-up. And if you're incapable, invoke the 25th Amendment. Get this guy out of here. What the hell are we doing? Play this clip.
New Iranian proposal, please.
So they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it. So we'll see what happens. Iran wants to make a deal because they have no military left, essentially, and they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it.
And then when he was on stage, he was basically saying the same stuff. I mean, he was saying, you know, I'm so busy. Iran keeps calling me. I don't know what to do. They call me all of the time. No, they don't. No, they don't. By the way, you and Witkoff and Kushner were thirsty and trying to reach out to Iran. They're not calling you. They're not calling anybody. You're making this up. Play this clip.
Beach. You know? So you'll be all very happy. And, you know, it's right now I own Doral, and right now we have a tournament. I'm so busy. And we have the big Cadillac Championship going on, all the great players, the PGA Tour. And they're there. And yesterday somebody came up, said, sir, the tournament is great. I said, what tournament are you talking about? I'm so busy with the Iranians calling, trying to make a good deal, and we're not going to let that happen. But they've got to make a bad deal. But if they make a deal at all, because frankly, maybe we're better off not making a deal at all. Do you want to know the truth? Because we can't let this thing go on. Been going on too long, but under the leadership of...
Finally, I'll show you what Dr. Gupta was telling me about the so-called dementia exam that Donald Trump is taking. Here, play this clip.
Dr. Gupta, I know you got to run. I just want to close the loop on one more thing. In the experts that you speak to and in your own practice, have you ever heard of somebody taking these cognitive exams that Trump keeps saying he's taking like every 3 months or 6 months? This level of, have you ever heard of that? Like with that level of frequency?
No. Nobody takes a Montreal Cognitive Assessment, MoCA for short, which it focuses on recall, memory loss, basic things. Mild cognitive dysfunction is what it tends to sort of screen for. It's not a great tool. No one takes it with this type of frequency. I was on with Nicole Wallace yesterday, and I thought she said it beautifully. You know, saying that you're passing it every other week is not some sort of flex here that he thinks it is. It's an unusual thing to keep boasting about. Doing it as frequently as he's doing makes no sense. I don't know any neurologist that would recommend doing a MoCA with that type of frequency. And again, it's not the flex that I think he thinks it is.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thank you all for watching. You tell me what you think.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.